Well, here I am. I decided to make a video, and maybe like an honest video about a little bit about my story, uh, and just about my journey to Mexico and how I ended up here and how uh, and things that happened that made me want to stay, and working as a musician from a foreign country and in Mexico, the scale of the land, the language, the culture. But I guess first I'll start by just saying, I came to Mexico in a very darkish, dark time in my life. I'd been struggling with addiction for 15 years on and off. I'd put together a couple of years of sobriety, rehabs, jail. I did like 30 days, 28 days in jail. Good times. And I ended up coming to Mexico to embark on a journey with a plant medicine called Iboga. And I think at that point in time, like maybe I was in the top one of 10,000 people, and I'm just shooting that number out. I don't really know that it ever taken the medicine for an addiction, for helping with addiction. And well, I was at a point in my life, so I was in my early 40s at that time, and I really had nowhere else to go. Like, my family was pretty much at the end of their rope, and rightfully so. Addiction's very tough, and people don't realize the consequences. And just thinking about the people that are even involved in selling it, and the corporations and all the pharmaceutical companies that get everybody strung out, and then it becomes like a moral dilemma. And we're susceptible to these things because we have those receptors in our brain that react to all these chemicals. And I mean, when I had surgery, and that's what kind of started my whole opiate addiction, was through a surgery on my testicles. I had a torsion, and it was very painful. I mean, I didn't lose my testicles, but I lost something else along the way because of the addiction. But I got it back. But it's still, it still lingers always. And I'm grateful. And I'm gonna keep posting videos more about addiction and just psychological mayhem and all the things that go on during early recovery or a detox, and these kind of things that, lo and behold, create travesty and chaos and recognition, and also healing. It's in there that the healing journey may begin. And but being here as a musician and playing in Mexico, and when I first got here, there was really nobody playing music, and I had just this, maybe it was the medicine I took, but I just got a complete reboot and struck to be like, I can play music here. Now, I had been playing and professionally and teaching in the US, and yes, my addiction did disrupt that in a lot of ways. However, I was able to keep playing. There was enough support and things that even when I was had to go to jail, that I got out and there was gigs waiting for me. There was always love and support, and I do miss some of my friends in the US, but I knew I had to stay here at that point in time just to make it through my early recovery, and this was I felt like a safe place, even though there are drugs here. I mean, even in the pharmacies, you don't even need a prescription, but for whatever reason, I was able to stop and never really return to the opiate, cocaine and drugs and alcohol, those sort of darky things. I did other plant medicines since I've been here. I went to a peyote ceremony and some other stuff, and not for like I'm gonna party, but more for like sitting with some things, and I think those kind of things can help and work us through a lot of problems. But however, you still have to do the work. You can't just keep taking these medicines. And it's been a while since I've taken anything in that sort of realm. So just to be completely honest, yeah, I'm here just trying to be as transparent as I can. Working here in Mexico, I've been very blessed. I was like, got here, knew nobody, and I really just played a few gigs, and things started to like unfold, and my journey here really opened up a lot of things for me. I was learned a whole bunch of different styles of music, a bunch of just cultural things. And I'm still learning at the ripe old age of 58 that I am, and the challenges have been here. I live in a tourist area in Mexico, and when I first got here, there really wasn't anybody playing music. It was like kind of like in its early stages. So I met other people here. We put together a band. I got some shows south of here, and a more populated area. And within my first few months, I was working full time. Things just kind of like exploded. I couldn't even do all the work, and that was happening. And then slowly things started to grow here. More musicians started to show up, and in a tourist area like this, people come and go every year. It's a different group of guys that I'm playing with. Everything gets shuffled around, but I've been able to create a good life here, and I've often thought, oh, maybe it's time to go back to the U.S., or maybe I can split my time up. And I do go. I used to go tour in Europe for like 3 or 4 years, and I was in this other band with a talented young lady named Guadalupe Menevilla, and we did a couple records with her here, and we toured around Mexico. It was a very cultural music. It was like a cross between cumbia, Latin jazz, all these different Latin sort of things, but like roots Latin and gypsy and Balkan, and but it was progressive. It was like a progressive style of this music, because everybody in the band were very musically oriented and wanted to push limits. So that was a great project, and it fizzled out eventually, and then COVID came, and so that kind of thing stopped. I mean, I always go back to the U.S. to see my family. I do a few gigs there, and I keep in touch with some of my old friends, but I haven't gone back to my where I was born in Pennsylvania, and I am going back this year to be in fact, as a matter of fact. So that being said, yeah, I was a little nervous and scared, not for addiction reasons, but just for like, whoa, and I don't know, I'm just putting it out there, and this is, what I do. I practice a lot, I study a lot, I push myself a lot, I'm writing music, I'm trying to record new stuff, and there is more of an original scene down here than there was when I first got here, and yeah, more will be revealed. So I'm going to start doing more videos like this and just see what happens. I think we're all in our time right now, we're all struggling, and there's this kind of sense of looking into the abyss of the unknown right now with everything that's happening. And this is not going to be a place for me to get involved with politics or the state of affairs. I'll just say this, that I think if we all work on ourselves on the inside, we can reflect a better future on the outside. And that's been my experience. But Anyway, I hope to see something in the comments. If there's any questions anybody has about playing music or living in Mexico. I'm always looking for people that are interested and want to come down here and work, because there is work here. I mean, we're approaching the low season now, and it's very warm, and hopefully we're going to get some more rain this year. And, well, that being said, I'm going to sign off. It's 10 minutes. Maybe we'll just wait for 11 minutes. And, but this is the beginning of the Rob Cavazzini Honest Talks. Peace.